Alright, what's going on, guys? Brandon here, bringing you guys episode 2 of the Saints Sit Down, a weekly live stream where we just kind of talk about the Saints, honestly. And only the Saints, maybe bring up a little bit of Monday Night Football, which was completely awful today, or not Monday night, Thursday Night Football. My days are all messed up. But we're going to pretty much get right into it. Pretty much on the screen here are the 3 games we are going to be talking about, one of which we're going to kind of bundle all the division games together, being like the Saints-Panthers, as well as like when the Saints played the Buccaneers and the Falcons. We saw pretty much these same Saints in a weird fashion in all those games, of a all four quarters, like giving or playing decent football, or at least playing some kind of football in those quarters. Like, obviously we've seen them being able to like score touchdowns, things like that, but they've also like fell apart, whether it's second half or, you know, just didn't do anything in the first half and then had to make a comeback. But I think, and I mean, we talked about a lot of this, what was it, last week when we were kind of previewing, just kind of opening up the channel to this idea of like the Saints Sit Down and talking about them. So we kind of touched a lot on the fact that the Saints and their division matchups are 2 totally different like play styles for them, because what we saw against the Vikings, though they lost, it wasn't disappointing. Like, as a Saints fan, I am not, being 1-3, I'm not hitting that panic button. I'm actually going to pull up their division, which I'm pretty sure the Falcons are tied with the Bucs right now, with everyone being 2-2. Pretty sure. I'm just double checking in a sense. As it loads, boom. Yeah. So the division so far, there's literally like everyone. There's Falcons and Buccaneers that are 2-2. And Panthers and the Saints, which are 1-3. Now, unfortunately for the Saints, they are 0-3 against division opponents, which I kind of hate that they already played all 3. Like, obviously there's 3 more games, but like, you lost 3 games already against division opponents, so you're already below where you need to be. However, you're right there. You're literally a game away from like tying everybody. Like, one more bad week from the Bucs on the Falcons falconing, and then Panthers, being the Panthers. This is kind of easily like a time that you can just get in there and like win another game, pretty essentially. And you do that back-to-back weeks, and you're winning the division. Like, it's still early in the season, and kind of going to the Saints-Vikings game, like, though I don't think it wasn't a perfect game, because you obviously take away the field goal, like, at the end of the half, though the defense played very solid in that opening like the first half of the game. Both defensives kind of shut down a little bit in like the second half, but the pass rush was present there. I think they got to Kirk Cousins a little bit. Kind of my keys to victory last week. They almost had everything. Their offense in a way kind of failed them in a sense. Though I liked Andy Dalton. I think he played pretty solid. Kamara comes back against the Seahawks, so that's gonna be a huge just a huge addition, both in the run game and pass game. I'm sure, especially with him and Ingram, they're 2-time like 2-hit wonders there, that they love bouncing off energy and stuff like that. I think Michael Thomas, I'm pretty sure is still out right now. Let me see. It's a roster. Let me see. Injuries. No current data. Thanks, NFL. Thanks, NFL, with the no current data. But I'm pretty sure Michael Thomas is still out. But, I mean, overall, they seem pretty solid. Tyrann Mathieu got a pick. Cameron Jordan, I think, got a half sack or whatever. But either way, like, I think the pressure was there. You know, they were all pretty solid that game. This is probably going to be a faster one. I'm probably going to try keeping this towards more so like half an hour kind of live stream. Because as we kind of get through these, there's not going to be as much to talk about. It's really just going to be previewing the following game in a sense. But like, yes, they lost to a double doink, but like, I don't like, you know, I don't know if they were ready to win a game yet like this. Like, I almost feel like Vikings should have had, like, and I think people thought Vikings were going to have a more blowout side of the game. But, you know, I think the Saints held them pretty well. I think their pass defense gave up a little bit more than I was expecting, especially Lattimore. I think he kind of got burnt. Not so much on, I know Jefferson had a few catches and stuff, but I think his main problem was actually Adam Thielen, which is kind of concerning. I mean, obviously Thielen's very good as well. Jefferson's really good, but, you know, so it was kind of weird seeing Lattimore kind of getting burnt, and then the late pass interference by him. Like, it's something kind of untraditional that he normally does. And then the one pass interference that wasn't even, I think that was that play actually, where literally I'm pretty sure it was Thielen. He like sold that so much, but he made offensive pass interference. So again, like, I'm not a huge, you know, I'm not a huge, like, against the refs kind of person. Like, I don't think a ref can, like, especially, like, when you have chance to, like, put up touchdowns instead of field goals, things like that. But when it's that kind of play, that down, you know, in that situation, that kind of changed the game in a sense. And it's like, it was such a bad call, too. Like, I don't know. I really wish they, you know, just have one person literally watch the, like, broadcast of the game and be able to have a headset and just be like, hey, refs, you got it wrong, go over there and fix it. Like, it's offsetting, like, whether it's offsetting pass interference calls, whatever, like, just replay the down, whatever the system could be for it, there's a better way to review this kind of stuff. Like, if a fan is watching this game and sees it, especially on the replay, like you're telling me nobody else saw this and was like, oh, like, you have 30 seconds to, like, what's it called? Like, for them to break the huddle, get to the line, and, like, snap the ball and stuff. And especially when they're running up to the line or whatever. So you have all this time, we get a couple shots at the replay of it, and it's like, they can't just be like, whistle, hey, go back and redo it, because that was no good. Like, I just don't understand why there's not, like, a protocol with this. And it was kind of upsetting that even, like, transpired in that game. But nevertheless, I think Saints played really well. I think that's who the Saints are, is, especially with this kind of offense, like, I think they're slow going, but they figure out what works and keep rolling with it. Latavius Murray did good. I kind of upset that they traded him to the Broncos picked him up. I'm like, why are the Saints getting rid of him? Like, just stick to the run game. Like, now Kamara's coming back, so now you have Kamara and Ingram. You could have had Latavius Murray. You could have just been feeding running backs left and right. But hopefully Kamara is like 100% good to go. Not like, you know, any kind of issues or anything like that, and is able to just perform the way he normally does. But with all that being said, we are getting to the Seahawks game this weekend. Seahawks being 2-2. They play noon, so like, but it is in the Superdome as well. And honestly, I think if this game was anywhere else, I think Saints again would probably lose. But like, I think fans, like, for me, if I lived in New Orleans and like I was going to the Saints game, I would be excited because I think, like I said, I think against the Vikings, the Saints showed who they actually are, and that's a team that can beat the Seahawks. Like, you compare them, like, if you go ahead and if you watch the past games or whatever against their division opponents, I would say they would lose to Seahawks because Seahawks would just get an early lead and they would have to try making a comeback, and they don't do it. Similar to how they were in the Buccaneers and Panthers game. But if you notice, they really didn't do that. They played solid defense. They made some big plays. Like, the Saints were doing pretty solid, and now it's really just taking that next step up. Like, if you think about it, Lattimore doesn't give up one big play, or not. It's not even the one big play. It's the stupid pass interference penalty, things like that. Like, if that doesn't happen, and maybe Cameron Jordan gets to Kirk Cousins maybe one more time, like, it's a lot more. It's in the first few weeks, it was, hey, everybody kind of needs to act like a few things better. Now it's like very few people need to make like one more play, and that's not much to ask, honestly. Like, saying like, hey, look, Cameron Jordan, you're leading this team, get one more sack, one more pressure, get one more something, and we'll win the game. And like, the fact that they were like right there, like, I think offensively this was their best performance. I don't think it was great necessarily. I mean, only 25 points. I think they got to get more in the end zone for this kind of stuff. They can't be just sitting here, kicking field goals and hoping for the best. They got to start pounding this ball in, and I think Kamara will definitely be an addition to keep drives going, especially when you kind of start shortening the field more. Kamara out of the backfield can make like quick cuts and stuff, or even throwing it behind the line of scrimmage to Kamara and then he's able to get positive yards out of it because his speed and agility and stuff like that. So it'll be exciting to see how they utilize him. But yeah, I really think the Saints have a shot this week. The Seahawks, on the other hand, they have been playing pretty well. I mean, I'm still confused about Detroit. Like, I don't know if their defense is that bad where Seahawks offense shines that good. But, like, I don't know. I like the matchups here. I just don't think, like, Seahawks just don't strike me as a team that's like a dominant team, or a team that should be 2-2, or like, they're almost like a 2-2 team, honestly. Like, they'll end up going like 8-9, 9-8, something like that. But I think the Saints can take something here. Like, it kind of goes back to, if Saints lose this game, it's almost like a panic button in a sense. Like, I even said last week, if they lost to the Vikings but showed a pretty solid game, showed promise, you're not hitting the panic button as a Saints fan. You aren't. Why? Because they played a solid game. And like I said, there's a lot more. Like, a few players need to make that one more play. Kamara will do that on offense this week. He'll make a one more play kind of area for the offense. And that's all you really need. You need one more drive that you get in the field goal range, and you get another field goal. You need that one extra thing. But defensively, you have some big-time players. Tyrann Mathieu, make one more big tackle, interception, pass deflection. Lattimore, make one more shutdown, on the play. And then Cameron Jordan, make one more pressure, make one more sack. It's a lot more like, hey, specific, like, you top players, you need to make one more play, and this game is like, and you'll start winning. These big time players need to make big time plays in big time situations, and that's greatness right there. Like, and that's how they'll get there. And but until they do that, you know, like I said, I saw huge steps in what they could do against the Vikings. It's now taking that one more step. And it's honestly, like I said, it's like where they were with like between weeks 1 and 3, they were like here. This step was like this big. Like, it was like, oh, I have to step up here. But now it's like the steps like right here to how they can win games and be a dominant meaning like, hey, we're going into a game and we're not blowing it, we're not making it a 28-25, relying on a field goal to tie a game. Instead, it's going to be a 28-28 game, and we're driving down the field to win the game. You know, like, and then that's really the difference. And you talk about that one more play, you know, making the field goal, you know, converting on 3rd down to get into field goal range. You know, that one more first down, one more drive that you can, you know, or one more turnover on the defensive side, that you're giving your team a chance to get one more possession, to get a few more points, you know, get one more drive in you to get some more points on the board. And like that's really the difference right now. Is Saints don't have much room right now to say we played a good game, now we can take a step back. No, it's you got the pedal down. You just gotta go. You know, you're going 55, but you gotta accelerate to 60 now. Like, before you were going like I would say like 35 to 40, you know, miles an hour. But then you were like, oh, okay, these guys are kind of zooming right now, so we'll bump it up to 55. But now to win a game, you just gotta press the pedal a little bit more, and you'll get there. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for this game. Like I said, I don't really think Seahawks are a dominant team by any means. I think they are pretty average, if anything. You know, they have some good playmakers. They have some, you know, they can make big plays, things like that. But like that's the key for Saints to win this game is literally you can't let that kind of stuff up. Or if you do, you gotta bounce back with something. You give up a 50-yard touchdown, okay, whatever. Make a turnover later in the game, early, like right after, whatever, to give your team a chance to replicate that in a sense. You know, like any opportunity you're giving up to this defense, or like, you know, so if the offense is giving up, like, you know, throwing an interception or whatever, you better be coming back out and throwing a touchdown, right? Same with defense. You're giving up touchdowns, you better start making big plays in big situations, or turning the ball over and giving your offense a shot. Kind of being like, look, my bad, giving up 20 points, but hey, now it's 20-20. We just got an interception. We just forced a fumble. Finish this drive. Also, you know, I just want to kind of, not a huge special team guy. I don't really look deep into anything like that. But Will Lutz looked good. Literally just like the, you know, it was just a bad bouncing, honestly, on the, you know, we've seen it so many times where, you know, it hits the post and goes in. But of course, you know, it just hits that weird, you know, because it's rounded, you know, it hits that weird edge of it, not even edge, but weird angle of the post. And, you know, of course it goes down to the crossbar, and again, it just bounces out. You know, it doesn't help that both balls are literally rounded, you know, so it's like, you know, it's all different kind of angles. So it's kind of unfortunate that they, but like, and also it's not as though they would have won. You know, like, they could have went to overtime, Vikings drive down, score touchdown, game's over. and now you're talking more so about the Vikings dominating the Saints in overtime, rather than, hey, Saints were in this game and missed a field goal to tie it. And that's what I mean. You give yourself one more opportunity, and this game's tied, and that was for the win. You know, and that's really all that's the next step for them. The next step isn't blowing the Seahawks out 28-0, dominant offense, dominant defense. That's not the next step you have to take. The next step the Saints have to take is literally making this game a 28-28 game. You know, in terms of like a Vikings game, you know, playing a full game, but instead of that final drive being to tie the game, it's to win the game. And like I said, it's one more something. It's one more big play. It's one more first down that keeps the drive going. You know, it's one more sack. It's one more opportunity to win the game, and it'll show on the scoreboard. You know, like, even while I was playing football, it was always the mentality of not looking at the scoreboard, just play the game, and the score will show, or the scoreboard will reflect how the game was played. You know, sadly, didn't play much, but like sometimes you looked at that scoreboard and it was like, yeah, they killed us, you know. But you know, so like, but then, you know, sometimes you look at that scoreboard and it's like, man, we're right there, you know. And that's where Saints are. That, you know, they look at the final scoreboard for last week, 28-25, and I think that game, like, sometimes the scoreboard doesn't reflect on anything. Like, oh, it was 28-0 and the Saints came back. It wasn't like that. It was pretty solid game performance by both sides of you know, both offenses, both defenses played pretty well. It's now the Saints' turn to just do one extra thing to make this game in their favor, you know. And like I said, it's really just the difference of kicking a field goal to tie the game or kicking a field goal to win the game. And that's the next step they need to take. But if you guys are Saints fans out there, let me know what you guys think, keys to victory here, your concerns with the Saints, your questions, your anything like that. Let me know all in the comments below. It was a quick, kind of faster episode, mainly because I don't really want to deep dive into Thursday night, because I feel like Thursday night, mainly because I want to kind of save anything for, you know, our recap on Tuesday. I want to kind of save everything from week 5 onto that. But yeah, that is going to wrap it up, boys. If you guys could hit that like button, like I said, comment below anything else you guys want to see from me, any ways that we can make this stream better. I kind of like this layout. It kind of flows a little bit better. Like I said, there's not going to be much. It's going to be pretty much the previous game, the, you know, the current game that they played the week, and then for next week. You know, like, it's going to be a pretty quick one, unless there's some serious news that are breaking out. But biggest key in this game is Kamara's back, and we'll see the two-punch menace of the Mark Ingram and Kamara against Seahawks, and we'll see how that produces and stuff. Also, let me know what else you guys want to see from me, or any other ways to make this stream better and better for you guys to view it, everything like that. If you guys are new to my channel, means like you guys do hit that subscribe button as well. It means a lot, and I will see you guys all next time. Peace out, everyone.